Funnel Strat. In patch 8.11, Riot's jungle item changes inadvertently unlocked the Master Yi Taric Funnel combo, where Taric ran Glacial Augment and Guardian Runes to protect Yi, who absorbed all lane minions for himself. According to Lolalytics, this strategy boasted a 65.93% win rate over 6,100 plus high elo games at its peak. By 15 minutes, Master Yi routinely completed key items like Kraken Slayer and Blade of the Ruined King, and had up to 50% more gold than the enemy. This strategy would eventually make it to pro play, with a team even taking 3 smites whilst having no dedicated jungler. Streamers and pros decried sub-20-minute Yi pentakills and rampant toxicity, calling funneling anti-strategic and unfun. Riot's patch 8.14 nerfs slashed lane minion gold for top gold players carrying jungle items. These changes effectively eradicated the funnel from pro play and solo queue. The Taric Yi funnel era remains League's most infamous balance exploit. Lane swap. During the lane swap meta, teams routinely posted their bot duo in top lane 2v1 to lock down a winning matchup while leaving a struggling solo laner isolated, a tactic that delivered consistent early game turret plates and dragon control. Teams would typically lane swap when the bot lane did not have a favorable matchup, and send a low econ top laner to 2v1 and hopefully survive a jungler diving him or soak XP and gold before that happens. It essentially became a game of who can exploit the enemy top lane the most. We would often see top laners just dying on repeat trying to catch a wave at their own turret. Pros and viewers alike decried scrappy, sub-10-minute outer turret takedowns and endless wave reset loops as toxic and stagnant, since no amount of mechanical skill could outplay a coordinated 3v1 dive. The resulting games often stalled around 15 minutes, with one team firmly ahead, making mid-game teamfights a formality rather than a spectacle. Despite its strategic depth, lane swap's predictability drove early surrenders and frustrated even seasoned pros, prompting Riot's anti-swap mechanics in patch 25.5 to penalize non-junglers in opposing lanes before 3 minutes 30, shutting down the lane swap meta in 2025. Janna top. The Smite Janna top craze emerged in early 2022 after Taric Yi funneling turned into a full roaming support strat. Players started running Smite on Janna in the top lane to steal camps and amplify her late-game shielding and peel. A perfect storm of patch 12.2 buffs, including a base MS increase and stronger shield ratios, made Janna's roaming devastating, and she achieved a 60% plus win rate in high ELO games before Riot intervened. Janna would smite Rift Scuttlers for vision, invade the enemy jungle to deny farm, then roam mid with Monsoon and Howling Gale to set up kills, shredding conventional top lane matchups. Challenger statistics logged Janna's pick in 1,200 plus games at a 59.3% win rate, dwarfing standard funnel champs. Esports teams even trialed Smite Janna in scrims, and regional challengers like Korea's CK Challenge League saw her remain undefeated for weeks. Riot slowly nerfed Janna and her ability to take Smite and roam from top lane. The Smite Janna era, though brief, stands as one of League's wildest off-meta revolutions. Garin Yumi. The Garin Yumi bot lane combo exploded onto the professional scene in Worlds 2019. Teams like Fnatic and SK Telecom T1 piloted the duo to secure early towers and relentless tower dives, with Yumi's disgusting poke enabling Garin's Demacian justice executions. Day 2 of groups saw 3 separate Garin Yumi matches, each ending sub-25 minutes as opponents struggled to match their combined sustain and peel. In the quarterfinals, Fnatic's bot lane used Garin Yumi to dismantle Clutch Gaming, turning a 2-1 series lead in their favor to advance to the next round. The strategy was shut down when SKT answered Fnatic's combo with Kayle Nautilus, which denied their early game strategy and also outscaling in the late game. Riot's post-tournament balance team noted the duo's 59.3% solo queue win rate and rapid objective control, citing over 1,200 matches analyzed, as justification for subsequent nerfs to Yumi's attack speed buff and Garin's decisive strike cooldown. Despite its brief reign, Garin Yumi remains one of World's most infamous off-meta but toxic revolutions. Feral Flare. In late Season 4, the introduction of Feral Flare transformed the jungle into a solo farming treadmill, rewarding champions who could clear camps endlessly while neglecting lane pressure. Stacking 30 Feral stacks via large monster kills upgraded Wriggle's Lantern into Feral Flare, which then granted 30% bonus monster gold, permanent on-hit damage, and infinite scaling, turning farm-centric junglers like Master Yi, Warwick, and Nocturne into late-game powerhouses if left unchecked. It even made streamers like Trick2G good at the game by jungling his way. Just kidding, his Udyr was goated. Across 10,000 plus high ELO games, Wriggle's Flare users posted win rates north of 56%, dwarfing gank-heavy picks. Pro players seldom ventured into lanes before level 6. Instead, they focused on hitting item spikes by 20 minutes, then used their newfound 1v9 strength to solo win teamfights. This farm-to-win approach stifled early game skirmishes, made objective control formulaic, and punished teams unprepared for a late-game monster. Riot responded in patch 420 by removing Feral Flare altogether, as they could not find a proper adjustment to the item. The Feral Flare era remains a cautionary tale in resource design, proof that infinite scaling can break both the map and the fun. Sona Taric. The toxic Sona Taric bot lane duo first rose to prominence in mid-2019's solo queue, with both supports abusing the support item. Sona's Arcane Comet empowered her poke, while Taric's Bastion Tether amplified those same bolts, stacking a giant shield every trade and forcing enemies back before level 3. By level 6, Taric's Cosmic Radiance and Sona's Crescendo combined into a near unbeatable engage or disengage toolkit, leading to a 62.4% win rate over 12,400 high elo matches at its peak. In the 2019 LEC Spring Playoffs, Sona Taric made appearances in both the semifinals and finals. Pros and casual players complained about this toxic strategy, as it didn't really involve much skill when piloting this, and made it almost impossible to play against two supports that negated a lot of the game's core fundamentals. Riot's patch 9.14 nerfs to support item costs and cooldown increases on Taric's Q and Sona's E effectively dismantled the combo's power spike, relegating it back to fringe status. The Sona Taric era stands as one of League's most infamous double support metas, where sheer sustain and peel outweighed traditional carry matchups. Mythic Items. When Riot introduced Mythic Items in Season 11, preseason 2021, each champion could pick one powerful unique item whose mythic passive boosted all subsequent legendary items. However, certain mythics vastly outperformed their peers. Kraken Slayer became the default on almost every ADC because its true damage passive and attack speed bonus eclipsed alternatives. Eclipse or Prowler's Claw dominated the assassin pool thanks to their lethality and Omnivamp, and Divine Sunderer was the only viable pick for many bruisers, locking them into a Divine Sunderer Death's Dance, Sterak's Gauge path. Data from high ELO ranked matches showed those items boasting win rates 7 to 10% higher than the next best mythics, leading to 95% pick rates on certain champions. Pros and streamers lamented the lack of alternative builds. Why would you ever take anything else? By August 2023, Riot acknowledged that mythics had oversimplified power growth and pushed champions into "I'll only choose one item." Consequently, they removed the mythic tier entirely for the 2024 preseason, reverting to a more flexible system intended to restore build variety and reward creative itemization. This episode remains a prime example of how one-size-fits-all item design can inadvertently crush strategic depth in competitive League. Banner of Command. When Banner of Command was buffed in patch 420, its active ability to promote a siege minion turned nearly any lane into an unstoppable wave of superpowered minions, enabling teams to split push and pressure multiple towers simultaneously. By granting a single cannon minion massive magic immune damage and freeing its owner to roam, squads could force opponents to respond under turret or lose objectives. In high ELO solo queue and competitive play alike, champions from Scion mid to brand support built Banner to hard push side lanes, turning every recall into an objective threat and collapsing map rotations. Across 12,000 plus challenger games, pick rates soared above 25%, with a win rate of 55.7%, dwarfing other situational items. The relentless pushing created overtime scenarios where games became slow stalemates, draining out fun and decision-making. Riot responded in patch 8.12 by removing Banner of Command entirely, replacing it with more balanced siege options and restoring the rhythm of teamfights and objective contestation. The Banner of Command era remains a prime example of how one overpowered niche item can warp the entire meta.